So you have a lot of standards. Is there one that you go by, like your main one?
I don't know if it's it. I think it's more of a value or like a kind of like a wholesome thing. So I don't break man's laws, God's laws, and I always do people right. Like do too much, like I can't be doing that stuff because I have a lot to lose. Like when you get older and when you start thinking about stuff and the value of like people and spending time with them and investing in them, investing in you, it's like, why ruin certain things just because you don't want to set your boundaries or your standards? And then you have to set your standards high.
Okay. I have a question for that. So, to be honest with you, I've struggled with boundaries a lot. I mean, this year, something happened to me at the beginning of the year where I felt like you always believe or think that people are going to act in a wholesome way, in a good way, but it's not always like that. So for the people that do you bad, do you think it's up to you to get back to them? Or do you just leave it to, like, let's say, God in a way?
I just leave it.
You just leave it?
Yeah.
Depends.
Depends on what.
This guy.
So check it out. So I don't know. I was gonna give you an example, but I was gonna name some names.
I'm name dropping.
Yeah. So it depends if it was done with an intention, because people do things with like intentionally trying to screw you over, and sometimes it's like, oops, fuck it just happened, right? So I don't know, man. Like
I think
really
the biggest
depends.
flex would just be to do like a better, like set a better standard. Just like, so like it's some people that done me dirty, and I'm just like, really? Like, why would you even? But my biggest flex to them is to let them know that I'm doing better than they are. Like I'm growing in a better way, and I'm not really like worried about what they did to me. Like I'm unstoppable. Like you can't stop me. Like you thought you did something, but now look where you are, kind of thing. So that's my whole thing. And then I know that they're going to be taken care of. Like it's going to come back around.
Okay.
That's why I'm not trying to like intentionally like do something, because then I'm going to have to pay that back. I'm a big believer in if you do
like karma.
Yeah. Okay. So like I'm automatically going to have to pay that back. Like if I go and hit somebody or do something, like I'm going to get hit back later on, or I could lose something. Like I don't want to be so far in my career or so far invested in something and then lose everything because of something that I did back in 1998. Like I'm good.
I got you.
So hopefully, I know I'm still paying back stuff
from back in the day.
Yeah.
That's why it's like slow right now for me. But hopefully, most of that stuff is gone, and I've been doing. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nobody is.
I don't have time
So
for that.
going to that, I just saw a video on YouTube where this one guy goes to the school board.
Yeah.
And his name was something. Let's say George Gay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he changed his name because he was getting bullied in school and it didn't go well for him, right?
Yeah.
So he goes up to the school board and he tells his story like, hey, my real name is George Gay. I was bullied in school because of the name.
Yeah.
And he goes through like the situations that he went through, right? And then he said, and this is an older guy, probably in his 60s, maybe like low 60s or so, right?
Yeah.
So he said, he goes through the story. He said, like, I got my head into, like, people put my head into a urinal. People kicked me when he was in school, right?
That's wild.
So this was in school. So he was going to the board and he said, like, and one of the guys that kicked me was you, Lance. And he points out the guy, and it was the director of the school, the superintendent,
of course,
of the school board. So right there at the same session, the superintendent apologizes and he resigns his position.
That's the kind of stuff. I like that.
Yeah. So like a smart way to go about it.
And this shit was like what, like 40 years ago?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a smart way to go about it. If you want to get back, and people just be like, you're the one that did it, but now look.
Yeah, it'll come back. So we're also believers of if something bad happens to us, then the universe balances it out. So something good is coming. So it could balance out. So you didn't answer. You kind of did, but like just to reiterate, what's the number one boundary that you put in your life to keep people out? Like, do you go by gut feeling or what?
No.
No, why not? Or what do you go by?
Sometimes my gut's always hungry. So like that.
Same. Tell me about it.
I go mostly by action.
You look at what they do
Yes.
to other people, to
I
themselves.
look at
to
character. I look at how they carry themselves, how they present themselves, how they, act under pressure or act certain situations. Not to judge them, but just see how I could help them, work with them, or how can it be like a better situation or a new avenue. Yeah, because I don't know. It's just I've had issues with like letting everybody in and trusting everybody, and then they fail me. But I put my expectations up too high for them when I should have just kept them a bare minimum. So now going forward, I just look at the outer person, like maybe 70%, but the other percent is more like I'm looking like trying to find out who they really are. Then I can set my boundaries. So I have to kind of get to know people, but I don't like just, oh, hey, everybody, that's it. Just come on in. I'm here for everybody. Not no more.
Okay. Do you have any boundaries?
I'm working on that.
Any values?
I feel like that's the hardest thing to do, like boundaries and stuff. I usually tend to help out people before I help out myself. And that's something I really, really, really need to work on. Yeah. Especially because I have a kid now, so I cannot put my wants or needs is his now. Mm-hmm. So that's something I'm working on.
Yeah, that's what you got to follow what Pace does. Like his family comes first.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Family.
And everybody's family should come first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost volume there.
Yeah.
No, I learned that. I was like you.
How did you learn?
I was like you. I would help. I would get out of my way and help people. Mm-hmm. I still do, but now it's more like kind of like you reciprocate with favors, kind of thing.
Oh, I got you.
So like, let's say you ask me for something, I stop what I'm doing and I answer you. But let's say somebody else, a cold caller. Here's a good example. People cold call me, and they do all the time. Like, I don't spend time on it. As soon as I hear it's a cold caller, I just hang up. So I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
But here's a good example that happened to me. So I have another business in the marketing. Mm-hmm. So this one guy starts sending me leads for my other business for free. And I noticed, like, where are these coming from? I noticed, right? And then he calls me, like, hey, have you noticed that you've been getting leads for this, and that? Like, yeah. Like, how do you know? Oh, I'm the one sending them to you. Like, oh, shit. And now I want to hear more. And now I want to hear his pitch.
Okay.
Because he gave me value.
Got it. Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
So that's how I operate now. Like, if I need, if I want or need something from someone else, I provide a value to them first so they can hear me out.
I got you.
And there's a better chance that
that's smart.
You get listen to it.
So drop now horns on that. Yeah. Drop some horns on that.
So that's my standard. That's where I draw a boundary.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing this for fun. I don't like to work. Do you like to work? I'm not doing this for fun. I got to take care of my sister, my nephew, my grandma, myself.
Everybody.
Basically everybody. So my objective is very clear in my head, and I'm going towards that goal.
Okay.
So if you're not part of that goal, then I spend very little time with you. Or
I like that.
That's why I don't go out. Like that does not fit into my goal.
He does not go out. That's a true statement right there.
You don't go out at all?
At all.
Outside of work, we probably hang out, what?
1-2 times a year?
When's the last time we hit the club?
Yeah, years ago. This boy.
Years. Yeah. Literally years. I don't know. Like, what, 5 years?
Probably.
I know, that's old. Not like that, but it's just I get it.
I just had a drink. What day is today? Saturday? 2 days ago, because I had my Christmas dinner with my team, with my detailing team, and before that, it was like a year that I didn't have alcohol at all.
Yeah. Same.
Even at parties, family parties, are like, nah,
Yeah.
good, because it affects me. It slows me down, and I can feel it the next day. I feel like sluggish.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to do it, and I didn't work out the next day because I had alcohol, and I kind of didn't feel it like working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it affects my routine. So now if I don't work out, I feel sluggish through the day during work as well. So it doesn't fit my goal. So that's why I don't do it.
I really like that.
And I don't miss it either. Like
yeah, it is. It's like whatever.
yeah.
I like what you said. So like pretty much whatever doesn't fit your long-term goal, just not push it to a side, but don't spend a lot of time on it.
Right.
That's big.
That's big for me too. Like even with people, like if there were people in my life, or if there is people in my life right now that are not like supporting me, or that doesn't fit my goal, I don't spend time at all with them or engage in any extra activity that they're doing. I can say hi and bye and, like bump elbows here and there. But if you're not doing what I want, like if it's not matching, it's just wasting my time.
Yeah. You got to be selfish.
Yeah. Sometimes
We have limited
little
time
bit.
here.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
You know what I put in my head? Like the world might end next year. So what am I?
What are you gonna do?
What can I achieve between now and the end of the world?
Yeah.
That's big.
So that's how I do it. Like what can I achieve between now and, let's say, the end of the world is May? What was the Mayan?
I think it was 2024.
It was in May, no? May 2012.
2012. Yeah.
But it was a specific day. I think it's like May 14 or something like that. So my goal is May 14.
You know what? That may have a lot of that will put a lot of pressure on you, but which is good.
So going into that, what's your goal? Do you have a clear goal in your mind that you want to hit? Do you have a time frame for that? Can you share your goal?
My goal is to be financially free, debt free, and just be able to balance both time and money. A lot of people cannot do that. And that is a big goal that I have set for myself and I'm going to accomplish.
When's the deadline?
It is going to be next year in June 2025.
So a year and a half?
Yeah, from now.
Okay. You're going to have to sacrifice
a lot
in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Because people try to balance time and
And
work.
they can't. Yeah, it is a
At
lot.
the beginning, like you can't. I really don't think it's possible.
Yeah. A lot of people don't think so.
No, you have to have a sacrifice at least in the beginning
Yeah.
in order to achieve what you want.
A lot of people have a lot of money, but they don't have a lot of time. A lot of people have a lot of time and they don't have money. So if it's balanced, you can
Even
go
though
where you want, do what you want, and you still have the money flowing in. You don't have to make, clock in, clock out, do that extra stuff, and you sleep, and still make money, that kind of thing.
even though Pace says that there's no such thing as balance.
I don't think there is.
Work-life balance.
I honestly don't think there is.
I think there is.
I think there is. It depends on what industry you're in.
But I always feel like life is moving.
It is.
Like,
it's not gonna stop.
for example, like, so it was my girl and I, and we're like, working out again, getting in shape again, and then baby comes out of the hospital because he was in the hospital for a long time, and now we're just back at like just figuring out how this is all gonna turn out, right?
Right.
And then at some
Really.
point he's gonna turn, I don't know, like 5 or 6, and then that's gonna be a new stage, right? The businesses right now that we have and the businesses that we're gonna have in the future, right now they are where they're at, but at some point they're gonna shift. They're probably gonna require more attention or less attention. So I think it's very hard to maintain balance.
Here's a good thing for